What is up, everyone? Please take a second to hit that like button. The more likes we get in a short period of time, the more people the algorithm will bring into the chat to come and hang out with us and see what's going on. So please hit that like button. Let me know how you're doing, and happy freedom. This guy right here, it's his birthday today. Let me pull his little picture up. Happy birthday, Klaus Daniels. Young hooligan cat. We got up early to do the fun birthday stuff and whatnot. Give him some soft food and all that. He is 1 year old. He's a 1 year old giant. He's like a toddler. He's like 4 feet tall. He's a 13.5 pounder chicken nugget. He's the birthday kitty. Big shout out to Klaus Daniels. He's so funny. He's so funny. All right, let's see what we're getting into today. Let's make sure everything's running correctly and we will move forward. It's not going to be very eventful. I am sorry, hooligans, but it's kind of slow today. Everybody's just waiting for the State of the Union nonsense, and we will be covering that at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely look forward to that. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Shanti? What's up, Freddie? What's up, Annie? Are you okay? What's up, Richard? What's up, Other People's Antiques? What's up, Adrian? What's up, Nefties? What's up, Lori? Happy Freedom. What's up, USA Forever? What's up, Anime Adventure? What's up, AJ? What's up, Big Chap? What's up, Robert? What's up, Bubba? What's up, FU Biden? What is up, hooligans? I appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you rack those likes up. More likes, more hooligans. We'll be getting started here in just a moment. Thank you so much, IB4, for gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. I appreciate you. Thank you. What's up, everyone on the JeffMAC Live YouTube channel? What's up, Toy Mafia? What's up, Native New Yorker? Appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? Happy Freedom. Buy Klaus a big tuna. Yeah, I bought him like 9 cans of Fancy Feast. He's not gonna eat them all today, so don't think that. But I want him to have a plethora of options. It's his birthday. And in Biden's America, you're lucky to make it to your birthday. So, yeah. So what's up, everyone on Twitch? Nefties, are you omnipresent? What's up, everyone on Odyssey? Appreciate you guys being on a free speech platform. What's up, Joe? What's up, Golf Coach? What's up, Rasta? What's up, Patriot 1080? What's up, Serum? Happy Freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate you guys watching on Rumble. Sounds like Facebook's catching up. Happy Freedom, everyone on Facebook. What's up, Donna Sparks? What's up, Anthony? What's up, Dana? Appreciate you guys being here. Alright, hooligans, so we're going to get her started here. As I said, later today we got old man Walter giving his State of the Union address. It's supposed to be taking place at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of nonsense, but we need to keep track of all that nonsense because there's idiots out there that believe it, and that's a danger to us. So keep an eye on that later today. But before that comes along, we're going to be covering a video titled Gingrich, you think Biden is going to tell the truth tonight during the dishonest SOTU? And they're pretty much just bashing him and the things that have happened and all of that. Then we'll be covering a short video titled Navy and Coast Guard recovered China spy balloon debris. And they explain very little about all of that. Of course, no one cares. Like, we covered the White House press briefing yesterday, I believe, which we don't have that today. But they just denied all the questions and stuff. And they were like, well, what are we going to do about China? Like they came into our airspace. That should be considered a threat. We don't even know what the balloon was or what it was for and all this stuff. It's a threat. What are we going to do? Does that hurt the China-U.S. relations? KGP was like, I don't know. We got to see what China says. We have to see what China says about China invading our airspace. Like we don't have a say in the matter. So, I don't know. I'm interested to hear more about the China spy balloon, but yesterday I was hearing that there was explosives on the balloon, and now these videos are saying they don't know if there was explosives on the balloon. So, it's starting to become blurred, real blurred. But then we will be moving on to a video titled, Migrant Tickets to Canada Are Being Paid For by You and Me. That's pretty self-explanatory about what that is talking about. And then we're going to be covering a video titled Biden Democrats' Enemy is Always MAGA Republicans. Again, pretty self-explanatory on what that's going to be about. And then we'll be wrapping up this episode of Coffee with Hooligans with a video titled The Knives Are Clearly Out for Kamala Harris. So, as I said, it's pretty slow day today. We're just going to hear everybody tell us, all the great things about Old Man Walter and Hyena Harris. We're going to hear a little information about the big scary China balloon. And then pretty much we'll be sitting here just waiting for the State of the Union address. So, drop some ones in the chat, some coffees in the chat if you're ready to go. I already got everything pulled up and paused because they like to just jump out and scream at us whenever I start these videos. So I went and did a little work ahead of time. What's up, Lioness? Happy freedom. I'm doing pretty good. I hope you are too. Thanks for being here. Big fella. I'm not watching the State of the Union address. I'm watching Curse of the Oak Island where they dig holes and don't find anything. I mean, you probably get the same out of it. I'm just watching it because I like roasting those people. Love it. Makes me happy. Makes me happy. And, I'm always telling you guys, you got to do what makes you happy. That's why I'm here every day. Thank you so much, big fella, for that $2 donation. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see. Just reading through the chat really quick. Make sure I get to talk to everyone before we move forward. Happy Freedom, John Costello. Appreciate you being here. What's up, Big Turd? Welcome to the live. You guys kill me with your names. Alright, I'm seeing all the coffees. I'm seeing all the ones. It's time to get her started. What's up, cheeky chops? Let's get it.
The Union address tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich writing for FoxNews.com that Biden's State of the Union must make amends for his woke response to China spy threat. Joining me right now is a former House Speaker, Fox News contributor, and author of Defeating Big Government is Socialism. Newt Gingrich is here. Mr. Speaker, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for being here.
Well, I'm delighted always.
Well, I want to get your take on first Biden's response to China. I'm stunned. He was asked yesterday if the U.S.-China relations change in any way. He said, no, China knows what we're doing. They understand. As if we're supposed to be sorry that we shot down a balloon, a spy airship that breached our sovereignty. What should the president do in terms of a response?
Well, look, I mean, there are a lot of things. First of all, we should have shot the balloon down before it crossed into American airspace.
Right.
One of these days, the Chinese are going to put an electromagnetic pulse weapon on a balloon like that, and it's going to cause devastating damage, and we won't know it's coming until it goes off. So we ought to have a ground rule that says we do not allow any foreign object to enter American airspace, period, and we shoot them down. It's not complicated. But remember, Joe Biden's son did business in China while flying on Air Force Two with his father. Joe Biden himself had a Penn Biden Center at the University of Pennsylvania while they were getting $65 or $67 million from Chinese communists. The Secretary of State Blinken was making $1 million a year at the Penn Biden Center. We have no idea how much money went into the University of Delaware Biden Center because they won't release any information at all. I mean, what reason do we have to believe that Joe Biden is in any way going to be tough with China other than words? And I think that'll all, he can't explain this. There was a great line in the Babylon Bee which said, I let the spy balloon finish its job, then I shot it down. And that's about what happened. It crossed the entire country taking pictures and finally got shot down only as it left the United States. Well, that is crazy. I mean, people will look back on that and just think, as a practical matter, you have a woke Defense Department more concerned about social policy than defense. You have a bureaucracy that's aging and incompetent and frankly can't get the job done. And you have a very aggressive China, which is pretty clever. They keep pushing the margin day after day, whether it's in the South China Sea, Taiwan, or now American airspace.
I mean, this is all outrageous, Newt. I mean, this is our commander-in-chief who won't even respond to an adversary breaching our sovereignty, and who knows what they were able to send back to the Chinese Communist Party about our military installations that they were hovering over in Montana, among others, where there are nuclear silos there. I mean, the damage that was done is unknown.
Right. And the fact is, he's apparently not a commander-in-chief because supposedly, according to the White House, he ordered them on Wednesday to shoot down the balloon, and the military refused. So apparently he's the suggester-in-chief, not the commander-in-chief. But that's typical of Biden. I mean, yeah. Biden is floating on a series of disasters. You just had a report on the border. You think Biden's going to tell the truth tonight? No. This is going to be a fantasy State of the Union with a series of fantasy reports, and there's just going to be an amazingly dishonest State of the Union.
Well, it's also incredibly concerning how compromised he is after having taken those tens of millions of dollars from communist China. Of course, they're going to do whatever they want. Who knows what they have on him? Does any of this come up tonight? Do you think that the Chinese airship comes up tonight?
Oh, I think he'll claim great success that we shot it down and now we have people going in the water getting it. And once again, he showed vigilance, something like that. You know, I mean, he may or may not say something about defending Taiwan. You know, remember last year he described the disaster in Afghanistan as the most successful airlift in history. Now, I mean, a person who can do that can say virtually anything. He's going to claim that the border is controlled. He's not going to notice that the fentanyl is coming in under his watch, and we now kill twice as many Americans a year from drug overdose as died in the entire Vietnam War. Twice as many in 1 year.
Wow.
He's not going to take any responsibility for that. And he's going to claim that the cities are safe and that you really are doing well economically and you should just shut up and quit whining.
Unbelievable. Newt, one of the real worrisome points to all of this is the number 2. So let's say, you know, the world recognizes and America recognizes how bad this administration and Joe Biden really is, and the Congress moves to impeach him. Then we've got to deal with Kamala Harris. I mean, is she ready for this? Even the New York Times is slamming her now, writing that even her allies are tired of waiting for her to define her vice presidency, reporting that even her closest supporters have lost faith. Then there's Hillary Clinton.
Did you guys see that transition of power document that I posted in Gilded? It's on the announcement board if you haven't seen it. 17 pages long. It was just put out a couple days ago or something like that. Not sure what it is, but it is official.
Tell me Hillary Clinton wants to be the number 2 now.
No, she'd like to be number 1. I mean, first of all, I think
she took a number 2.
Of Kamala Harris as a -2, not a number 2. It's clear that she's not up to the job. I think her career is one of the most amazing in American history. She clearly doesn't know anything, and she clearly can't deliver competently on anything. And yet, she did get to be the Attorney General of California, which is the biggest state in the country. She got to be a U.S. Senator. She got picked to be a Vice President. I mean, this is a person whose career, based on what we can tell so far, is zero talent. I mean, a level of not growing in office that I don't remember ever seeing ever before in American history. It's astonishing how, despite all the training, all the staff, all the support, and all the experiences they keep sending her around the world, hoping she'll realize, you know, she's in Poland or now she's in Singapore. I don't think any of it penetrates. I think she just floats through life. And frankly, the San Francisco Mafia has taken care of her for all these years, and she hasn't had to learn or do anything.
Well, I mean, and they also haven't been forced to change course at all. I mean, from their climate change agenda to their wide open border to their soft on China approach. Now we've got this reckless spending as part of the conversation. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is calling on the president to negotiate with Republicans on the debt ceiling ahead of the State of the Union address. But Newt, you've seen what President Biden is saying. There will be no discussion. There will be no boundaries. The debt ceiling will go up, and you will accept it.
Look, that's just his negotiating position. The fact is, under the Constitution, they're not going to get a debt ceiling unless the House passes one. And the House isn't going to pass one unless there's serious negotiation on spending. And I think that Speaker McCarthy's handled this just about right. He's talked about responsible debt ceiling increase, and a responsible debt ceiling increase means you change the direction of the deficit, you change the amount of spending, and that they're literally, I mean, what they could do is a two-track process, pass a dramatic spending cut bill, get it signed into law, and then pass a clean debt ceiling. But they're never going to pass a debt ceiling that doesn't include, in one form or another, very dramatic cuts in spending. It's just not going to happen.
Well, Newt, we'll see about this, because I have these visions of, you know, the White House saying, well, it's Memorial Day weekend, it's July 4th weekend, we need to raise it now before anybody can leave, and then they'll just say, well, we've got trips planned, we know we can't default, we're just going to do it.
No, I think the House then would pass something and say, here, you've got a debt ceiling. And by the way, here's all the extra spending cuts attached to it. We did that with Bill Clinton twice. We closed the government twice. In the end, we got to 4 consecutive balanced budgets.
You sure did. And congrats to you. Newt, thanks very much for being here. We so appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
Oh, President.
All right. Well, that's that for the first one. Be happy. She's always yelling. I was thinking that too. Why she keeps squawking like that? I don't know. Maybe she had too much coffee first thing in the morning. Squawking. I don't know what else to call it. It just feels like right on, you know, hitting the head on the nail. Right? Is that how you say it? Hitting the nail on the head. Doesn't matter how you hit it as long as you hit it, right? Either way, moving forward. Next, we're going to be covering a short video titled Navy and Coast Guard Recover China Spy Balloon Debris. That's pretty obvious what that's about. They're going to attempt to give us more information on it, but I think they're either withholding stuff or they just simply don't know what they found. I was kind of surprised they didn't come out and say, oh, it was a weather balloon, like the Roswell incident that happened in the 50s or whatever. The Air Force put out some sort of statement in the paper telling everybody it was a UFO. They shot it down. There's aliens and da 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 da. And then the next day they're like, oh no, it's a weather balloon. Don't come over here. I'm surprised they didn't do that again to us. It's not a Chinese spy balloon. Nah, it's a weather balloon. They were just trying to see if it was raining in Portland. All right, give me a second to pull this up and read through the chat. Make sure everybody's doing all right. If you just showed up, make sure you hit that like button. More likes, more hooligans. Let's get these chats filled up.
And we're learning that new...
Yeah, Miss Jamie, I don't exactly know what the document is, and I don't really want people to hear stuff on the internet and get their hopes all up, because I see a lot of people seeing that document and thinking some unrealistic expectations. Especially there's people out there who are influencing people to think these ridiculous expectations from that document. I'm more or less just raising awareness to the document itself not really adding any side piece with it. So that way everybody can think for themselves and they're not being influenced, because this is not like the Q community or anything like that, where you're just like looking at the clock in the background and that means this and what's the date and you add the numbers together and that equals MAGA King's birthday and it's got to be happening on a Tuesday. No, we don't do that stuff over here. No, we like to live in reality. So it's none of that, but the document's real, whatever it is. Edward, I remember my first stash. I grow facial hair like Joe Dirt. I don't know. It's always been that way. It is what it is. I don't have nobody but Klaus Daniels to impress. It'll be fine. If I look homeless, I'll just blend in, right? I'll just blend in here with West Michigan and it'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. It's all right. All right, hooligans, drop some ones in the chat if you're ready to go. Get your coffees, your cheers, whatever you got. Drop it in the chat. The most funny things you guys post I can't even say out loud. All I can say is the hooligans are hilarious. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. She kind of looks like the reporter from the old Ninja Turtles. What was her name? If you know her name, type it in the chat. You know, she used to wear the yellow bodysuit back in like the 80s and 90s Ninja Turtles. What is her name?
Information about the Chinese spy balloon that was shot down off the coast of South Carolina over the weekend. Today, a top Air Force general said the Navy will check to see if there were any explosives or hazardous materials on board. CBS's Weijia Jiang is at the White House tonight.
Tonight, President Biden is defending his handling of the Chinese spy balloon.
I told the Defense Department I wanted to shoot it down as soon as it was appropriate.
On Saturday, a fighter jet shot it into the Atlantic Ocean after the balloon first entered the U.S.
April O'Neil. Days in, you were first.
7 days, it flew over or near 4 military sites in Wyoming, Montana, Nebraska, and Missouri, and was eventually shot down along the South Carolina coast. This cell phone video shows U.S. Navy personnel on Sunday with what appears to be a white deflated balloon.
Racist.
2 different boats. Republicans are furious that the balloon was even able to cross into U.S. airspace.
He allowed a full week for the Chinese to conduct spying operations over the United States, over sensitive military installations.
The Pentagon assesses that the balloon was up to 200 feet tall, with a debris field the size of 15 by 15 football fields. China claims it was a weather balloon that veered off course, calling the U.S. response unacceptable and an overreaction.
Does the balloon weaken U.S.-Chinese relations?
No. We made it clear to China what we're going to do. They understand.
No. I'm actually on the way to Asian buffet right now. The relations are doing good.
3 times during the Trump years, though this information was discovered after the prior administration left. Officials would not say how or when they found out about those balloons. While China also uses satellites, balloons are easier to maneuver, can stay longer over one area, and are cheaper. Today, a top aerospace defense commander acknowledged that the Pentagon has missed Chinese balloon threats in the past, blaming it on, quote, an awareness gap that he says the U.S. has to figure out. President Biden says this balloon episode will not change his State of the Union address tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Nora?
just stunning to hear the Pentagon admit that. Weijia Jiang, thank you.
A Chinese.
Come on, man. You guys crack me up. John Costello, I'm trying to write back to you, but I can't say that stuff out loud. All I could say is they probably assumed, watching all the Pentagon videos, that if they made it that color, that it would just blend in with all the white rage over here, and none of us would notice it. We would just be blinded by all that white rage, and we wouldn't see the balloon in the sky. That's what I think is so funny about them saying that, oh yeah, we had 3 different balloons over here when the MAGA King was in office. Well, when did that happen? Well, I don't know. Well, how come we didn't shoot it out of the sky? Well, I don't know. Well, how come nobody caught it on video? Well, I don't know. So no one's seen it? No, I don't know. You guys didn't down flights? You didn't have airports that couldn't have flights? Nah, I don't know. But it happened. Yay. Information. That's not misinformation at all. Okay. So we have another short video here. Migrant ticket to Canada are being paid. They're being paid for by you and me. This is just over 2 minutes long. It's another short one. Some more stuff about illegals wandering around. First it was in our country, now they're coming to yours, over to Canada. See how that goes. You know, it really annoys me that they can even go there. Really. Many of you know I was detained at the border going to Canada for my very first time because I have a disorderly, because I was drugged for my birthday one year. And instead of receiving help, I was arrested for screaming for help. I was freezing to death on my birthday. They said, the police report's hilarious. It says that I was all blue, my lips were purple, I was shaking, I had a phone in my hand that was dead, and the screen was broken, and I was arrested for yelling for help, that I needed help. And I was in the middle of the street trying to identify that I needed help at 2 o'clock in the morning. And the restaurant I was at, the waitress and me have had a personal relationship before, and my grandpa had just died, and my grandpa raised me, and so I was going through a hard time. And so very first drink was on the house, brought this strange green drink to me called a alien urine sample. Very first drink, at the time weighing 215 pounds. I even told her, can I get 2 of these? She's like, well, this one's on the house, just see how you like this one, we'll see about a second one. Next thing you know, I woke up in jail. Had no idea what happened to me. And I was drinking a lot at the time, and I had quite a tolerance. So I was arrested for yelling for help. Even, you know, one day I'll release the police report. You guys can read it for yourself because it's hilarious. So I have a disorderly. I tried to fight it because I thought yelling for help wasn't exactly a crime. And so it's just a ticket here in Michigan. I don't know if it's like that everywhere. But it's just a ticket. I think it's $500 or something. But I thought I could beat the case, because I legitimately needed help. When I woke up and they breathalyzed me, they were like, yo, we don't even know how you're standing and talking right now. Like, you're blowing these high numbers. And I was like, well, I only had one drink. I don't know how that could be. And they suggested to me that I was poisoned. And I was like, well, I don't know. And they were like, well, whatever's whatever. You're here now. So I took it to court, thought I could beat it. My attorney came out after talking to the prosecutor before we walked in the courtroom. It was like, just tell them that you'll be quieter next time. And I said, what do you mean? I can't yell for help? I can't have help? I needed help. They didn't give me help. They took me to jail. He's like, you're not going to win this case. I just talked to the prosecutor. They're not going to let you win this case. If you fight this, you'll do 90 days in jail. Just go in there and say you'll be quieter next time. Tell them you have $500 in your pocket, and this is going to be your best way out. So I did, because I don't like being in jail. And I paid them $500. 2 years later, I go to Canada, I make it through the American side, get to the Canadian side. They're like, well, we're going to need you to pull over here. Throw my keys out the window. 5 guys with M4s come out, surround me. Canada don't have guns until you're at the border. All of a sudden, these guys walk around with them M4 platforms, strutting around, speaking French. Pulled me out of the car. They didn't finger me, thank God. But they did search me. They searched my vehicle. They threw everything from inside my car out onto the ground, and then told me that I'm never allowed to attempt to enter Canada again, or I will be arrested. And they made me sign some sort of piece of paper, and they sent me back to America. And I said, why? Why is that? Well, because you have a disorderly. I said, well, yeah, it's a ticket. It's not a felony. I'm not a felon. They said, if you did that here, you'd be doing 10 years in prison. Disorderly is a 10-year felony in Canada. So you're never allowed to come here again. But these guys get to come there, and they're not even supposed to be here. Why is that? Why is that? It makes no sense to me. So give me a second while I pull this up and read through the chat. I'm sure you guys are saying terrible things about me, but that's okay. It's my life, and I live it proudly. And I'm not up to the bad stuff now, so it's okay to laugh about it.
Monica Crowley.
Cool guy. Wow, that's messed up. Trudeau is corrupt. Oh, yeah. Yup. John Costello. Thank God they didn't check the insides. I know. I didn't even know that was a thing to worry about. I was worried about being incarcerated in Canada or at the, whatever it is, the border, because I can't think of what it's actually called. But yeah, I was worried about going to jail because when I got in there, you seen a lot of foreigners, not in a bad way, but just in a, you felt like you were at the United Nation. Like, let's put it like that. There was a lot of people there who were in handcuffs, and some of them were in like steel cages, and I was just wandering around trying to figure out what was going on. Yeah, it was a good time. But then when I came back home and I told everybody that happened, they were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." They're like, "Well, I tried to sneak weed into Canada once, and guy about stuck his whole hand inside me." I was like, "Oh, well, that did not happen to me." And then I heard that same story like 4 or 5 times from random people, and I was like, "Yo, I got off the hook easy. Got off the hook easy. That didn't happen to me. Maybe next time. At least take me a dinner first. Jesus loves us." Anyways, let's get this started, hooligans.
Crowley's the former Assistant Treasury Secretary and the Monica Crowley Show podcast host. All right, Monica, Canada now. They're going from Mexico to the U.S. to Canada.
Right. Well, good luck living under that petty little tyrant Justin Trudeau in Canada, right? Jesse, there is irony, and then there's what's happening here. So these people break into the United States, break our laws to come into the country, get transported to what is still the greatest city on the face of the earth, New York, and it's not good enough for them because apparently their filet mignon is not cooked. You know, it's a little too rare. So
I didn't know they considered New York the greatest city in the world. It's not the kind of news I hear.
Paid for by you and me.
Oh, no.
You might want to work a little harder because you are paying their bus ticket.
I have 2 shows, Monica. How much more TV do you want to see me on?
You got to work a little bit harder, Jesse, because you got to pay for their filet mignon and their one-way bus ticket to Canada. I'm just surprised that they're not heading to Martha's Vineyard because that's super cushy and just as cold.
They'd bus them there, but that's impossible. Now, I understand you're a stunt guy. If you're the mayor, you know, you sleep on the streets. You know, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I had my little Linus blanket. Can you show a little hustle to get actual companies to come back to New York, actual taxpayers?
Yeah. Yeah, and what about American citizens who are suffering here in New York City? It's the dead of winter. We have homeless on the streets. We have drug addicts that are American citizens on the streets. We have military veterans who can't get assistance because we're told there just aren't enough resources for these American citizens. But Mayor Adams and so many other Democrats around the country will bend over backwards for the illegals coming in, taking jobs that actually should go to American citizens like those in need. Bend over backwards for Jesse Waters.
One time I want to see someone bend over backwards for me. Warning to the migrants going to Canada, don't drive a truck.
Oh,
Trudeau doesn't like truck
really
drivers.
In trouble. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Monica.
You bet.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to...
Sean Hannity over there using hey as a filler word. Sounding like KJP saying, Just reading through the chat really quick and we'll be moving forward. Jack Costello, yeah, it's Trudeau's personal order. He has all the officers come visit him personally after these kind of situations so he can give them the official sniff. I don't doubt it. He didn't get no American flavor when I came through, though. Not me. I wasn't pretty enough, I'm thinking that's what it was. They were out there speaking French. I thought they were hitting on me. I didn't know what was going on. I don't speak French. I barely could speak English. Where's Trigger Crazy? I wish Trigger Crazy would show up because he's always like, say roots, say roof. Because apparently I don't say it like everybody else does. They were like, wee. I was like, nah, you can't have that. That's 20 in the front, 40 in the back. What are you talking about? Just leave me alone, okay? Leave me alone. I'm having me a day right now. All right, we're going to move forward. Guys got to get me in trouble because I'm hilarious and I got to censor myself so YouTube doesn't take me out. I should get schwack tattooed on my forehead.
Here's a flashback to what he promised during last
All right, give me a moment to read through the chat really quickly, and then we'll get this started. This video is about 3.5 minutes long, and we got one more after this, and then we'll be wrapping it up. You look, it's cracking me up. Now watch us get a strike or something stupid on this video. It's always like that. The best lives where we have the most fun, all of a sudden YouTube shows up. And he's like, who wants it first? It's terrible. I hate when that happens. Which is why you hooligans need to get over on the free speech platforms, either Odyssey, Rumble, or jeffmaclive.com, where you can watch uncensored. I want to do a lot of fun stuff over there, but we can't get enough people over there. It's hard to do fun stuff with 6 people in a chat. So everybody needs to move over to these free speech platforms so we can speak a little bit more openly. I've actually considered doing like a weekend show instead of doing Coffee with Hooligans on Saturday morning, maybe doing like a week review Saturday night at watch party time about 7 o'clock, but only on the free speech platforms, so we can cover everything we covered all week, where I can actually speak openly and not be heavily censored. That's like all the delays and stuff where it seems like I can't figure out the words, like I'm just a doughhead. That's because I can't say what I can't say the first 6 things that come to mind. I have to filter through all of it to be like, okay, act like I'm talking to a 6-year-old so I don't get censored and banned. I'm thinking about doing a show one day a week where we don't have to worry about that stuff. But you guys got to go make an account on these free speech platforms. T's illegal. Well, I can't say that word. I can't even suggest what it is. But I'm wondering if they're going to do away with TikTok. I think there's states that have already banned it, which I think is kind of weird. But I wonder if they're going to end up doing away with it or not. How are they going to spy on us, though? So, look, old man Walter looking crazy. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. That whole TikTok thing is very controversial. What's up, Hungry Camel? All right, let's just get her started, hooligans.
Here's a flashback to what he promised during last year's address. Roll it.
We are stronger today than we were a year ago. And we'll be stronger a year from now than we are today.
Well, are we stronger today? Biden has faced a growing migrant surge, record inflation, a scandal involving the mishandling of classified documents. We're scrolling up the crises on the left-hand side of the screen. Will Kane is here. All right, Will, is the president going to address these issues, or is he going to ignore them tonight?
I think your prediction is probably spot on, Stuart. You got to find your enemy, and when it comes to the Democratic Party, when it comes to Joe Biden, the enemy is always the other side of the aisle inside of the United States of America. It is, as you described, MAGA Republicans. When the truth is, what we are dealing with, and when he says we will be stronger tomorrow than we are today, is we're dealing with a crisis of weakness. And I think that's most acute, most pronounced when we look at, well, you know, our reputation, our influence on the international stage. And, you know, I don't think that we need to take one moment, one instance, and make it symbolic of everything or blow it out of proportion, inflated with hot air. But the balloon situation does become illustrative. It does show we're not the power on the global stage that we would like to think of ourselves, that we should be. And when we elect presidents, I'm always reminded of this, Stuart, we elect presidents largely for their behavior, their decisions, their judgment, their reputation on the global stage. And right now, as we have both Chairman Xi and, Air Force generals predicting imminent conflict with China, it's a bad time to project weakness and not strength.
Got it. Now, the other side of the coin, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she gives the Republican response. What do you expect to hear from her?
Well, the Republican Party needs to figure out, and I still think this is an ongoing debate, exactly how they propose to handle the problems of the United States of America on the domestic front. I have no doubt, Stuart, that if I just forwarded you what I think is the most important issue, and that is how we will respond to issues on the international stage, that whoever the Republicans choose, and within their conference, how they handle international affairs, will be more competent and stronger than Joe Biden. But when it comes to domestic affairs, the infighting we saw...
Is that a Chinese spy balloon?
...the House speakership. And who they select for 2024, Republicans need to begin to articulate exactly who they are and how they propose to handle the issues of the American people. I think there's a healthy debate that's been going on for 5-6 years now, about what it means to balance principled conservatism against the populism that responds to an economy, a corporatocracy, to a country that
sounds like overthinking manipulation.
Class and blue-collar workers, and I would like to hear from the Republican Party how exactly they plan to balance.
What's up, TYR? Welcome to the live.
One thing that will happen tonight, and which drives a lot of people crazy. Standing up and applauding, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. It drives you nuts, doesn't it? I mean, I'm going to be asleep. I'm not going to watch, but I'm sure it'll be in the highlights first thing tomorrow morning. Will Kane, thank you very much.
Mr. Donald's for...
All right, well, we got one more video to cover, and we'll be wrapping up this episode of Coffee with Hooligans. I keep taking my glasses on and off. If I don't wear the glasses, my vision goes blurry because I have all these lights in front of me. But then if I wear them, then my whole face sweats because apparently all the heat comes out of my head through my eyeballs. I'm like Cyclops on the X-Men or something. I don't know. It's where the infrared comes out because I'm just a part of the simulation and I don't know it yet. Elon's gonna jump in the chat just to confirm this theory.
Halfway through the Biden presidency, these first...
All right, I'm gonna read through the chat really quick, and then we're gonna be watching this final video. If you're ready to go, drop some coffees and ones in the chat. I'm gonna make sure I don't miss anyone. There's people that think the Chinese spy balloon is fake. I don't know how that could be. Like, there was a ton of people that took pictures and selfies. I've seen people flipping it off like a direct message to China. Americans are the funniest people on the planet, I swear. Big Tired, you're in Missouri. I don't know why you can't get on my Rumble. There's been a couple people that have said that to me over the last few months, that even going to the link tree and clicking on the Rumble link, for some reason they can't find me. I don't know why that is. I asked Rumble about it, and it's like talking to YouTube. They're like, well, just keep trying. Well, I can't try for everyone. I'm just speaking to hundreds of people. Like, what am I can't just go to their house and here, let me figure this out for you. Like, come on. I'm like, there's something wrong, but Rumble doesn't care. Anthony, looking homeless is my superpower. Yeah, it's just one of those gifts that God gave me. Yeah, when I used to work at the factory, we'd have like 500 people on the floor at any given time. People come in, they'd be like, is that just growing all white trashy like that, or you try? No, it's natural. I'm Jeff Diarte. You know, get it right. Put some bass in your voice. Put some respect on my name. All that good stuff. Yeah, you got to be able to laugh at yourself. It's part of being happy. Don't be so uptight. Let's get her started.
Halfway through the Biden presidency, these first 4 years, and it seems like even Vice President Kamala Harris's closest allies have lost confidence in her. The New York Times, of all publications, interviewing dozens of Democrats who, quote, said she had not risen to the challenge of proving herself as a future leader of the party, much less the country. Even some Democrats, whom her own advisors referred reporters to for supportive quotes, confided privately they had lost all hope in her. One prominent Biden fundraiser adding, quote, I can't think of one thing she's done except stay out of the way and stand behind Joe Biden at certain ceremonies. Jimmy Fallon hosts Fox Across America and Fox News Radio and Fox Nation and joins us right now.
Hey.
You know, it's one thing when they say, hey, you want a good quote about Kamala Harris? Call these people.
Yeah.
They called them, and it's like, oh, we can't think of anything nice to say.
Well, make no mistake about this. This is a trial balloon.
Yeah.
This guy's all gassed up. He's like, hey. And then he just laughed really hard and then turned his whole face off really quick. That's a terrible picture of Hyena Harris.
The knives are clearly out for Kamala Harris, who has been a disaster as VP. And make no mistake about that either. I'm kind of an expert on disasters because I'm a Knicks fan. But here's the problem, okay? Because they've tried to defend her and insulate her against criticism, saying she's a historic first, it's her race or her gender. But there's no race or gender that we would accept being this bad at their job. Okay, she was tasked with being the border czar.
Right.
And the only time she made a run for the border was when she went to Taco Bell, if we're being honest. But what did she do? She conducted a study on the root causes of illegal immigration.
And?
She blamed it on climate change. But understand this really quick. Okay, if you have a border problem as we do, it is a now problem. Your house is on fire. If you call the fire department, you don't want to hear, well, you're in luck. We're going to do a study on the root causes of house fires. You want a now solution. She hasn't offered one.
There you go. Well, don't you think it is curious that we're talking about the New York Times, of all publications, which for a lot of people is like the DNC in-house newsletter. So for them to take shots at, they've also taken shots at Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, Joe's on the list, Hunter's on the list, and now Kamala is. It would seem like they would like to change the page and put somebody else in there before Joe Biden. Supposedly, Joe Biden's thinking about, should I run or should I go? And now it's kind of like, well, if you don't run, she shouldn't run either.
There is no world where she runs, and we know this because she ran once before in the Democratic Party. And when she dropped out, she was polling.
It's hard to run when you're all intoxicated. I doubt she runs for anything.
Oh, they're bagging on Kamala Harris. I'm like, the Democrats hated her more than we did. She was at 1%. She didn't even make the Iowa caucuses. So that's her biggest challenge here, is she has lost the print wing of the Democratic Party. If the Times goes, you're gone. And as they say in Democratic circles, where there's smoke, Elizabeth Warren's trying to send a signal. But the point is, it's not good for Kamala.
I think it's probably good for Pete Buttigieg. You look at these polls, and he's always... He's up there where Biden is.
Dude, he is failing up his whole career. Think about this. He is in charge, okay, of transportation. He started out with the nickname Pothole Pete and managed to become transportation czar. Generally speaking, Pothole Pete doesn't get in charge of the roads. This is like we took summer school Sal and made him Secretary of Education. So don't doubt Pete Buttigieg, because we don't think a lot of him, but you're right, he keeps failing up.
Well, think about this, though. Joe Biden, we have heard, through leaks and stuff like that.
Speedy girl, she runs for last call. I bet you're right on that.
Kamala Harris. The big question is, if she is regarded so poorly, will she be the vice president next time around?
I'm surprised when she sits down for interviews that she doesn't go on the nod and just start like falling asleep, slumped, because she looks like a pillhead to me.
The fact that he's running again because he says he's the only Democrat that can defeat President Truman. So I tell you.
All right, Jimmy, thank you very much. Great take on all the news. Thanks. All right. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
That guy's got the weirdest last name. Strange. Not Ducey, the other one. I can't repeat it, otherwise definitely will get a strike on Twitch because you can't say this stuff. You can't even say the backdoor word. They banned it. It's a banned word on Twitch. That thing that the cat points at you when it gets all in your face and then it turns around, tail up. That thing, can't say that. Banned word. Look at Klaus Daniels. He's like, that's my favorite. That's my favorite, though. Yeah, Dr. No Name, I blew it on that, but, you know, it's all right. Matthew, yeah, I'm saying she's on the nod. You know, I'm literally surprised that we don't see that, because a lot of times she seems intoxicated, but she's not slurring her words. She's not showing all the symptoms other than silly behavior and kind of lack of self-awareness, which is usually a sign of some sort of drug abuse, you know, to a certain degree. But then when you get carried away, then you start going on the nod. You know, like Johnny Depp was talking about and all that stuff. Or you got friends that make bad choices, and maybe you've witnessed this yourself. Sleeping sitting up, sleeping with your face in a bowl of cereal, that kind of stuff. That's Hyena Harris to me. So, I don't know. I think it's funny that all these people are getting called out now, but we'll still go through another 2 years of this. I think it's more work than they want to handle to get these people out. They'd rather just let them finish their deal and then just stick somebody new in there. But as I said before, there is a document that was just updated that talks about transition of power and stuff, and I don't know exactly what that is. It's not going to be what everybody hopes for, though. I know everybody thinks, like, I don't know, somebody's going to show up and save everyone. That's not going to happen. Not that I'm thinking. Yeah, Justin, the starfish power. You can't say that on Twitch. That's a bad word. That's a bad word. All right, hooligans. Well, that's all I had for today. I'm going to give you guys my spiel. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And then we're going to be waiting for 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be covering Old Man Walter giving his State of the Union address. I'm sure he's going to say all the talking points we're used to. You know, the breathing room, taking us to the dinner table, how his daddy used to call him honey in the middle of the night when he snuck in his room, all the good stuff. I'm sure we'll hear all of that. We'll hear how the MAGA Republicans are, what's wrong with the country. Come on, man. It's not a joke. It's not hyperbole. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything here. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of that. But we're going to make it nice and fun, because that's what we do around here. Either way, be looking forward to that. We're going to be wrapping this up. So here's my spiel. I need everyone to go to jeffmaclive.com. You can also find the link in the description. On the homepage, you can find all of my links listed. You can find the link to join Gilded for free. Gilded is currently the best way to receive notifications for when and where we go live every time we go live. You will also receive notifications for important updates and other things that I think you should know or be aware of. There's a news board on Gilded to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. And there's a ton of hooligans in there to hang out with every day to chat it up about whatever you like. So definitely join Gilded. Also on the JeffMAC Live homepage, you can find links to the merch store to grab some merch. We have shirts, hoodies, stickers, and coffee mugs. Everything is displayed in black and white or white and black, because this is my deal, okay? But if you guys find something you like, click on that item to see all the colors that item does come in. And then also on the JeffMAC Live homepage, you can find links to PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Stripe, Zelle, and Buy Me a Coffee if you would like to support what I do. There's also a link for the Amazon wish list. If you would like to send me stuff, it's really easy to use. Anything you purchase will be sent directly to me. You don't have to seek information, send emails, get any kind of anxiety about it. It's very easy to use. And then finally, on the JeffMAC Live homepage, you can find links to the membership program. There's memberships for YouTube, Gilded, Discord, Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitch. So that's my spiel, okay? It's time for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, hooligans, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, hooligans. Well, that's that for now. Hope you guys had fun. Hope you had some laughs. I know I did. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all of you. We will be live again today, 9 p.m. Eastern time, for Old Man Walter telling us all the great things he does. I hope to see all of you guys there. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership program, or purchased any merch. I appreciate all of you, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.